Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Update: my mom wants me to take care of my deceased sister's 3 boys. Original post: he asked me out a few times, but I refused him, so he took me anyway. This was when I was 20 and he was 16, one of my little sister's best friends, then 16. This is all I can muster to write about what happened, so please don't ask for details. My sister married him 10 years later, and now 20 years later she passed on at only 36 years old. Lung cancer. She hasn't smoked a cigarette in her life. Mom contacted me about my sister's children. She wants me to take them in because I have a good life, apartment, and job. I'm not married nor in a relationship, have never been in any to be honest. I love children, but hadn't had the chance to have my own. He isn't coping well after my sister, and with his work, he needs to leave town 2 to 4 weeks at a time. Dad is long gone, and mom is 77. He is an only child, and his parents are alcoholics. The children are 10, 8, and 4 boys. I know that it's all in my head, but they look like him and they terrify me. But I think I need to take them in, because what are the other options? Now for the top advice before reading the update. He can hire a nanny, you do not need contact with him, and raising his children would give him access to your life. Tell your mother no, and tell her why. I offered to pay for a live-in nanny, a male nanny hopefully, but it wasn't enough since they need family. No, absolutely not. These are unique circumstances. He needs to change his job as soon as possible, and until then, a hired help is all he gets. It's extremely selfless of you to offer financial help towards a nanny because none of this is your responsibility. Their suffering does not trump yours. Their father can find another job, just like so many other single parents. Also, how well do you know the kids? Honestly, no matter what, they need their actual other parent more than they need other family. They lost their mom and now need their dad. I don't know them at all. I left home when I was 22 and never saw any of them again. I reconnected with mom after dad passed away and she got sick. My mom thinks this is a good way to reconnect with my sister through her children, because we were inseparable before everything. This is neither a good way for you nor the children. For you, it's traumatic, and the kids would be confronted with a complete stranger. They need comfort from people who they know around them. This will be detrimental to them and to you. I don't see any scenario in which this will turn out well, to be honest. I can see why you also had no contact with your mom for a long while. Sounds like she prefers to sweep things under the rug. I get it's an extremely emotional time, and thus hard to deny this request, but this whole thing is not well thought out. Those kids need therapy and loved ones, not strangers who will be traumatized by their presence. You deserve your peace, and they deserve care from their father or other close relations. Now for the first update. When I left work today, he was waiting in the parking lot. When I tried to go back to work, he grabbed my arm and told me not to make a scene, and that he was just there to talk. Maybe mom told him where I work. It's very weird, because I don't even think that she knew where I worked. He said that we would drive some public place, so I don't need to feel worried because my work's parking is secluded. He locked the doors and drove to an open street instead. He started telling me how he and my sister never forgot about me, and always hoped that I would forgive them. My sister talked about me all the time, and that she was never the same without me, and that he was never the same either. When my sister fell ill, she requested that I would be in her children's life, because she remembered how I always was her biggest support growing up, and she wanted that for her babies. That's why both him and my mom are trying to make her last wish come true. The boys knew about me because my sister always talked about me to them, and they were looking forward to having their aunt in their life. He then told me they have been following my life, and that it was very weird that I never got married or anything, because I always was beautiful, and any man would be lucky to have me. Then he said that he can't believe he was the only one who has touched me, and he smiled and asked me if it wasn't weird that he was my only one, but now he was my brother. Then he said that I was still beautiful, and it wasn't late for me to find someone, and that he would be lucky to have me. I was freezing, and he was trying to put his jacket on me. I told him that I needed to go back to work immediately, but he kind of ignored me as he was telling me about my sister's wishes, and the rest. But he then just unlocked the door and I left without a word. He came after me and asked me if he could at least take me back to my car, but I didn't answer him. I went to the police, but there was nothing they could do. I called my mother and told her to leave the apartment and that I never want to talk to her again. She started crying and I just hung up on her. I blocked her number again. I don't know what to do now. I'm in my hotel room and I never want to be in my apartment again. We live in a relatively small country, but maybe I could find work in a neighboring country or just move cities. I don't know what to do. OP, please be careful. This has always been about you, not your sister and nor your nephews. He doesn't care about his children. All his monologue about your sister's death wish is just to lead him to what he really came to see you for. The part about not having had any relationships. Your stupid mother is so thick to see it. Your sister has been a surrogate for you all these years, and now he is using the children to tie you to him. He doesn't see you as a brother, and the idea of being your only one is making him feel special, and it is turning him on. Have you told your stupid mother what he said? She needs to know he doesn't care about the children, he is just obsessed with you. Please be careful. If you live in Europe, please let me help you. I didn't tell her anything more than that she needed to leave and never contact me again. I told her I've spoken to the cops and that she needs to leave me alone. Next time, hopefully there's no next one, make a scene OP. Be loud. Make it evident for them both that you don't want them near. I'm sorry you're not being allowed to beat you. I don't know where you are, but this is out of the book stalking. If the police won't help, then say you will file charges for stalking or anything you can prove. Lawyer up so you can press charges in a more informed way. Can you send a cease and desist? That might leave a paper trail in case things get worse. Also, if your workplace has video surveillance, ask for the footage. You're saying he actually kidnapped you again and harassed you with these affirmations, and at least as forcibly taking you along might be recorded. All he said is veiled harassment OP. This guy will strike again, so please get help. Be safe, please. I know you don't like having people around, but please confide in a close friend or someone who can keep tabs on you. This guy won't stop until he gets what he wants. Can you take a leave of absence at work and try disappearing for a while? Shelter or going abroad for a while, I don't know. If I were you, I would also consider moving countries, and if possible, thousands of kilometers away. I have been pre-print for this my whole life, and I have played this scenario in my head so many times and was preparing how to fight back. But when it happened, I wasn't prepared and I froze. I am so ashamed of myself, to be honest. Second update. Thank you everyone, I'm fine and I am living with a friend now, the only one who knows my history. It is very weird to be living with someone, but she insisted on me not having to pay for hotels. I'm grateful for her. My mother has been calling from different numbers, and even had some of our relatives that I don't even know contacted me. I told her everything about what he did and said, but I think she is prioritizing the children. I understand, but I can't ever be a part of my life anymore. A cousin of mine reached out via text and asked me if I couldn't give him a chance. He has changed. He has been a great husband and father, and he seems to care about me. He will treat me like he did my sister, with love. And the children could have family raising them instead of a total stranger when he starts dating. I'm going to try and find a job abroad. I think it is time. Now for the last update. Hello, I want to thank you for the support, even though I was a bit rude to some of you guys. I have decided that I can't take my nephews to raise them while he is not in the country. I have lived in solitude for almost 20 years now, and while I do love children, I don't think I know how to raise them. I don't know what to teach them, what to say to them, and most importantly, I don't know how to live with people. So, I called my mother last night and told her that I am more than willing to pay for a live-in nanny. I do make good money, and I don't have any loans or mortgages. She was very disappointed. She told me it was more about my sister, that we looked so much alike, and that she was sure that I would be a great solace for the children who miss my sister so much. I just cried all night. This morning I called my mom again on my way to work, but she didn't answer me. When I got home, she was waiting for me with the children. They live 2 hours away from me. I let them in, but I didn't know what else to do. I just stood at the door. The boys were very quiet and they avoided looking at me. The smallest had his arms around my mom's neck the whole time. I have never had anybody in my place. I don't even remember what I told her, but I excused myself and I'm at a hotel room now. She called me an hour ago to tell me to come home because we needed to talk like adults. That I couldn't just run away like this. That the children are now our responsibility and we needed to fix this. I don't know why, but I felt his presence, so I asked her if he was there. She didn't answer me and just told me that I needed help because I can't be like this forever and that she wanted to help me. She was sure that with time, the children will help me too. She is gonna be gone soon because she is an old woman, and they could be my support because nobody can live alone forever. They could be my support as much as I'm theirs. I asked her again if he was there, and she finally said yes, and that he wanted to talk to me. She then said that children are more important than us adults. I have blocked her now because I don't know what to do. I never want to go to my place again. I think I need to change city or something. Change your locks. Let her know if she leaves the children with you, you will call the police and report them as being abandoned. Call the cops on them if they're still there to get them removed for trespassing. Let them know you don't feel safe, or ask for a police escort to get any important documents and leave. I'm a mother and can't imagine trying to ever pull half of this nonsense on my daughter that your mother is putting on you. It is not your responsibility to look after your offenders' children. Like with the ever-living hell, you need to continue put your health and well-being above the people who are putting you last. Again. Her mom is extremely manipulative. Listen to all of this advice. They are invading your home. Well, that is rough. I doubt your mother is going to listen to you at all. She sounds like a lost cause. Please stay away from them. Get the police involved to get them all out of your home as soon as possible. Change the locks and do what you need to do to stay safe. Moving sounds like a good idea at this point. Both the criminal and the mother are manipulating you and trying to guilt trip you. Please do not let them get away with it. Yes, moving sounds like what I need to do. I'm not sure I can be at my place anymore, even if I change my locks. I have very irrational thoughts, I know, but I'm just scared to be honest. She let the man into your safe space. I completely understand where you're coming from. She went back on her word, and I am disgusted by it. She said he is leaving, he works on ships, on Sunday, and wanted to talk to me before he left the children, because he wanted to feel safe leaving them for the first time without my sister. I didn't see anybody when I let my mom and the children there. Was he just lurking, or did he decide to go when I left for the hotel? I can't imagine my mom just allowing him to lurk near my home. Would she? Maybe because I left for the hotel, they took a desperate measure. Last story. Everybody believes me, female 28, stupid for breaking up with my boyfriend, male 27, for nothing. But for me it is something. I need advice about the thing with men having female friends. I don't know. I could understand if it is a childhood friend, an old ex where love and attraction is long gone on both sides, and only friendship is left, etc. But my boyfriend of 3 years, been living together for a month, suddenly became friends with a girl from work, female 25. I don't like it. It started with him telling me how happy he was that there's finally someone new at work that he clicked with. He told me who she is and that they had a lot in common, etc. I didn't mind it at first. I was happy he was having a good time at work. But I started minding when I met her. She was hostile. She called me the lucky one and asked me if I felt threatened by younger women since I'm older. Which I don't get, because I'm literally just 2 to 3 older than her and just 6 months older than my boyfriend. But he left. I told him that I didn't like her and that I didn't want him to be closer to her. He has a lot of friends and he doesn't need her. He called me jealous and ridiculous. I said fine. I kept an eye and they started texting more and more frequently. We celebrated our anniversary last weekend and she knew it. She was texting the whole evening and he answered some of her texts. She asked him if he was having fun at our celebration and he said very much. So she texted, if you're really having fun, you wouldn't be texting me instead. I told him that was enough and that he should put his phone aside. I asked him if he thought what she wrote was okay. He said that she was only joking, that it's her sense of humor and I should loosen up. I told him again that I didn't like her and that even though I could be wrong, he should respect my wishes and cut her off. He told me that I was controlling and insecure and that he isn't doing anything wrong, so I should respect and trust him. The evening was ruined and we fought. I thought to myself, maybe I was controlling and insecure, and in that case he shouldn't be with someone like me. Or I could be right and he is letting someone step over my boundaries and then I shouldn't be with him. Either way, we should not be with each other. So I took a personal day, moved all my stuff from his apartment, and went back to my old place that I shared with a friend. She was happy to have me back, so she didn't need to find a new roommate. Everyone now, from my boyfriend to our friends to our families, think I'm overreacting. We could discuss and solve this. But I have tried, for many months, to make him understand that I was very uncomfortable. He texts me multiple times a day to come to my senses and to stop being childish. He loves me and she is just a friend. Funny that old me is the childish one, isn't it? With the age gap and all. Now for the top comments. Self-respect is a powerful thing, OP. She was disrespecting your relationship and he was letting it happen. As a guy, I've been in a similar situation. He was her work husband, then she cheated. Won't let that happen again. Work husband or wives are just weird. It ultimately makes them look like they have something special going on. Can't they just say work partners? Colleagues, co-workers, professional acquaintances. All these works and have been used throughout our lifetime. They clearly define the relationship type. This work husband and wife garbage is recent and being pushed by stupid people who have no idea what the boundaries of a healthy relationship are. Trust your gut. I used to think that I didn't have good instincts. Then I realized I did, I just wasn't very good at listening to them. I 100% side with you. My ex would do that stuff to me, but then I'd find out he was cheating on me with the girls he said were just coworkers and friends. I'm not saying every guy is like that, but if he can't respect your boundaries, then the relationship can't work. You've tried to communicate. I think the dagger here for me is the lack of wanting friendship or starting from kindness with OP. If that first interaction was as off-putting as I read it, I would be concerned. I don't know why a friend would meet a significant other and try to bring them down. You usually want the significant other to like you as a new friend. I'd ask significant other whether he would be okay with his male friends treating me that way, give concrete examples of other female friends of his you don't have issues with, and show it's not just that. Point out if a male were texting you during a date, or speaking about how lucky he was, significant other would not be so comfortable with it.